Alright, y'all, Supreme Kami here. So we are back. So gonna be doing my usual talking about should you guys summon for the banner. So this time around we have the Hakashiki and then we have Quadro Vagina. So I think Hakashiki, in terms of the Japanese website that has all the rating, this one is actually quite a high rating, surprisingly, an 8.5. But why is it actually an 8.5 compared to some of the other one or like a 7.5? Why? Like, how good is this unit? So I have been testing it on the JP version because I actually recently pulled it on the JP version. I was like, there's no way Global would get it this soon, right? And lo and behold, we we have it this week. Okay, so these are the base stat. This is a Ray unit, and this is a blue element type unit. So being the forefront of the of the battle, whatnot, I would obviously expect some good amount of HP. I think that's I guess pretty good. Defensive wise, I guess it's not bad as well, right? I think everything else looks pretty good, pretty well rounded, right? That's pretty nice. Alright, so here comes the EX skill. I think the EX skill is definitely where the whole meat, where how good this unit becomes. So as far as EX skill, we'll be launching the Mega Bazooka Launcher. This is kind of rated at EX skill level 5. So this is when you have this whole unit maxed out. This is when you have the bar literally maxed out right there. So this is why you have the 406% attack damage. So if you initially pull this Hakashiki, obviously that is not going to be the number that is busting out. So you do have to kind of keep that in mind. What makes this unit really good is I want to say the way they have this kind of worded, it sounds a little bit funky, right? So essentially for 6 seconds you are going to inflict all enemy with an avoidable status. So what does that actually mean? Why is this really important? So evasive and guarding. So this literally means you can take away your enemy's ability to guard and dodge. So that is really good because I'm pretty sure you guys have come across enemy dodging your attack left and right, and that is not cool. So for 6 seconds, this Hakashiki can literally makes everyone unavoidable. So even though this unit itself is not doing the majority bulk of the damage, but your allies, assuming you have strong allies that can do the job, that's going to be a wonderful combo. So I think forever and ever, this Hakashiki will always find a spot if you are running content that has multiple enemies. So for example, this week around we have an event called the Battle Rush or Rush Battle. Essentially you do have a group of mobs, so you're pretty much fighting one-on-one whatever enemy has. So if you run the Hakashiki, man, it's gonna make your run a lot more easier, the fact that you can bust this out. But the condition is if you can launch the EX skill in an earlier at the start of the battle, for example, or as early as you can to apply this one. So this is where we get down to the kind of extending the demo for using the unit. So the Transcendence skill, I don't really like the Transcendence skill, but the Transcendence skill does make this unit invincible. Well, even before talking about that, so even though you do come with a really strong ability to inflict an avoidable status, but to yourself for 20 seconds you are gonna pretty much delete half your defense. So it obviously gonna come with a cost, right? Coming with one of the best ability, you are gonna pretty much mess up yourself, being a little bit more vulnerable. From my testing so far, I have not really run into a situation where after popping EX skill where the Hakashiki start taking insane amount of damage. That is actually not the case. Hakashiki wasn't really taking a lot of hits, or he wasn't taking a lot of damage overall, so I mean I guess it doesn't really matter. But the Transcendence skill is just gonna make elevate how good the Hakashiki is able to perform. At the pretty much all the effects is at the start of the battle. Evasive increased by 25% because of this right there, so it's further helping that out. And then this right there, increase the EX skill gauge recovery by 50%. So not only do you not have to go to the unit enhancement to selectively pick which one of the EX skill you want to increase your EX gauge, is gonna give it to you for free. Why not just toss it in there? And what's better? Why don't you start off the battle with 50% of the EX gauge done? So that's why the Transcendent skill is just gonna make this unit a lot more better, and this unit is honestly a criminal for doing that. So I think for anyone that pays attention into the arena meta, which I don't really care about the arena meta at all, but if you guys do care about that, I feel like this unit is definitely gonna make a spot in there because of this crazy ability. It's just gonna make taking down enemy a lot more smoother by just having that. So yeah, that's really crazy. Skill 1, what is it, starting 30 seconds after the battle begins. So this effect is honestly something that is gonna activate on a longer term battle. I feel like for any content besides the arena, is not really gonna matter a lot more. So it's good, right? Does it really matter? Not really, because this unit overall is not really gonna be busting out. It's not gonna be your damage dealing unit. So we can just kind of ease it away. So skill 2 is gonna unlock the clay bazooka, which is honestly just kind of useless. It does nothing. It's cool, but it's not gonna do anything for you. So when the battle begins, increase projectile damage by 11%. Why? Do we really care about the projectile damage increase? No, that's a wasted ability. But on evading, that's nice. A little bit of some self-healing, we will definitely take that. So I can tell you guys straight up right now, the beam rifle, the clay bazooka, they are going to be doing pretty much 0 damage for you. It's not gonna be where the majority of the damage is gonna be coming in, unfortunately, and just the overworld kit is not doing any good damage. So the bazooka is the only thing left viable that is doing the damage. So if you guys are summoning for this character or this unit specifically, do make sure to pair up with pilot that increases the melee sense, and don't focus on anything that does with the range attack, because beam rifle, clay bazooka are garbage in this case, unfortunate as it is. But overall, this is why this character is busted and rated as an 8.5 on the Japanese website, because of this broken ability. But I feel like this ability, I want to say, is not really as busted as they rated. It's cool and all, but I mean, like, does it really matter though? Like, it's only gonna be effective on when you have like multiple enemy, right? So if you have one singular enemy, I feel like, you know, making them like not guard or evade, like evading is not gonna matter at all. So I mean, this ability is cool and all, but I just can't rate it that high. It's not really all that cool, you know, because the fact is you can't really use this until you kind of have this all unlocked, right? Because charging up that first EX skill gauge takes a hot minute. So if you are a reasonable gacha player or just a free-to-play player, like 90% of the time you may not even be able to activate this. Like, I'm talking about content where it matters, especially in an arena where it's kind of you quote-unquote fighting a real player. That's where it matters. If you cannot get that off, you die, for example, this unit is a waste, you know. I would definitely say in any other content where there's more enemies, like this specific event, it's gonna work great, because why not just toss it in so you can get a few more hits in, you know, do more damage and whatnot. But I just don't see it being that good, because you have to unlock all these to become extraordinary better. So I don't know, I definitely do have mixed feeling about the Hakashiki, but this, even though it has a really amazing ability, but I just can't help myself to say, yeah, go summon for this unit, because you can make your enemy not guard or not evade is really helpful. I just cannot. And this one being a standard banner unit, it makes it even worse, because you can eventually get this on a standard pool. So I'm not gonna tell you guys to like, yeah, just go hammer into this banner because it's really good, because of what this unit does. I just cannot. So I think whatever wise, if you are lacking a blue element type unit, you really need this, because if you feel like it's gonna elevate your gameplay, it's gonna make your life a lot easier playing the game, then go for it. I don't care, because my advice is just kind of like, you know, just an opinion. It doesn't really have way too much on what you guys can think. But I'm probably gonna be waiting for the next limited banner. I'm assuming it's still gonna be the new Gundam. I don't know when it's gonna be coming out, but I think I'm smelling it around the corner. So is new Gundam offering anything that's better than this one? I can't say. I can't compare line by line and say, oh, this one is better while this one is better. It's not gonna work that way. It's just this one is gonna make that blue element team shine, for the time being, because what it's providing. But I just don't feel like it's that good. Whereas like, because this is not doing anything. Like, it's just really sad that this unit is damage wise is sitting at the bottom of the barrel. Even though I don't have the right pilot, but I do have supplementary pilot that is nearly doing the same amount of things. But I don't know. I just can't bring myself to say this unit is that good. So I think that's definitely a long rant about the unit, or just kind of me expressing my opinion about that. But let's talk about EXO. That's cool. It's not every day we see a mega particle cannon just launching like that. So it's honestly a very stylish EXO, right? Cannot deny about that. But let's talk about Quattro Vegeta. Is he good? Yeah, so he is gonna be stacking up on the melee senses. So that's why I said, if you want the Hakashiki to hit good for the Beam Saber, you kind of need this. This one is going to be good for any blue type element. So if you are running blue type element that need a heavily centered around blue sense or the melee sense, this one is going to be doing the job. Stacks up to 5 times, right? Really good. So alright, so this ability right there, so now that I kind of caught it, is whenever you defeat an enemy. So this kind of makes it sounds like this is meant to run it as a mob type battle. So if you have more than one enemy, so the best way to kind of take advantage of Quattro is when you play with multiple enemies. So it's kind of situational where you can gain a lot right there. So pretty much when you don't even have multiple enemy, this you don't even get this off, because you have to defeat one enemy. So that's kind of unfortunate, I'll have to say, now that I'm looking at this. So at the least you can get this one over here, the raid category units. So that's not bad. You get half of that. So that's kind of is kind of more than half, but I mean, like, why, so that's kind of something I just caught on right now. So that's kind of unfortunate. So he's not really as good as it seems he is, right? So the skill 2, what is it? So this is the Graspy War. Okay, that's not bad. There are definitely a lot of unit centered around the Zeta, so this portion of it is gonna come in handy for sure. Commander category, do we really have a lot as far as commander? Maybe we do, probably, right? But this one, the condition is for the first 30 seconds when the battle begins. So any longer battle, I mean, like, you're counting yourself out as far as having good evasion, so not gonna be entirely good. And the last but not least, we have the AUG affiliated. I mean, like, how many unit or pilot are actually AUG affiliated? I feel like it's not a whole lot, but at the same time there is. You have Zeta, you have multiple variant of the Zeta, right? Bartus. What else are there? Am I missing anything? Probably there should be more, but I mean, like, the main thing is we don't have a lot of units that are AUG affiliated. So I feel like, as good as how he is, I feel like there are just a lot of instances where you're not able to get a lot of these off. So would I go for him? Probably not, given the fact that now I can't really read all these lines. He's not that good. So I think that's pretty much it. That's kind of how I'm gonna be looking at them. You guys can definitely let me know how you guys feel about the pilots, the units. So do you guys think they're just far as how I'm kind of rating them? I just don't feel like they're that good. As far as Quattro, I thought he was good, but man, looking at it the second time, I'm like, oh my god, he's actually not as good as you think. So that's how I'm kind of seeing them. You guys can definitely let me know your kind of thoughts about that. Yeah, Hakashiki, I know there's a lot of people hunting for him, but man, he is good and not good at the same time, because if you cannot play at the right situational around him, you're done. So That's kind of how I feel about the Hakashiki. You guys can definitely let me know in the comment section below, and I'll be catching you guys all on the next one.